My name is Jacqueline Beckoff, and I'm the owner of Defined Music Teacher. With me today is one of our successful Defined Music teachers, Ashley Shabazi. How you doing, Ashley?
I'm doing great, thank you.
That is awesome. So with this, let's just jump right in. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your musical background?
Yeah, sure. I recently graduated from Cal State Fullerton with a master's in piano pedagogy, and that's where I became acquainted with Jacqueline. And prior to that, I have a master's in piano performance, and I've been a teacher for about 8 years now. It's very special for me because it was not my original career intention, and here I am, yeah, about 10 years later with, my life as a piano teacher fulfilling me more than any other job I've had.
What motivated you to start Defined Music Teacher coaching?
I would say it was my business that was kinda struggling and me finding, well, lack of fulfillment in the definitely the business side. And so when I met Jacqueline kind of officially and we talked for the first time, I had so many questions about how do you deal with scheduling? How do you deal with payment? I have this problem with these difficult parents and this problem with whatever teaching. And she answered so many of those questions and it was amazing for me. So I knew it would be a really good idea to go all in and work with her on that.
Awesome. When you first started doing the coaching with Defined Music Teacher, what were your initial goals?
I remember being in a confusing place where I had a bunch of different people on different what we would call definitions, and there's no consistency in my studio. So I definitely wanted to establish a sense of like balance and consistency. And then, like I said, trouble with um payments and trouble with the scheduling business side. It was yeah, my struggling business essentially.
Gotcha. Could you describe your experience that with our coaching? What did a typical session look like for you?
I remember a lot of the sessions were uh one thing I remember is dealing with my website and how to make the most like standout site. Jacqueline, you were like very knowledgeable about the website building. It was I swear you went so in depth and that was so important. So website building took up a lot of our time and then um contract, talking about policies and defining how I would use how to best word my policies and how I run things. We spent a lot of time on that and daily sessions, weekly sessions involved how is your business going? Here are problems and then we troubleshoot. So it's very organized and I really appreciated that.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned the a couple sides of the Defined Music Teacher triangle, right? Our three core sides of business, technology, and teaching, and then the intersections with business technology, operational pedagogy, and digital pedagogy. Now, which of those categories on the Defined Music Teacher triangle did you find to be the most impactful for you?
Yeah, for me personally, I think what I they were all so impactful. Where I was mostly struggling or lacking, I got the most impact from the business side.
Gotcha. Awesome. Before you started the coaching with Defined Music Teacher, what was some specific challenges that you faced, and how did we work together? How did the program help you overcome those challenges?
A big one I just remembered was acquiring, recruiting new students. I just had no visibility, like the website I was talking about. Um, Recruitment was huge. I didn't know how to get new students. It would just be like a very rare accident that a student would fall into my lap. And now, being able to market myself and have that, like strong, even just the confidence and the persona to be a commodity that was new and also very special.
Awesome. Yeah. I remember you were telling me before we started recording that you are now full. Your studio
Yes.
is now full. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That was a big, exciting milestone for me. Just this week, my last spot on my schedule was taken. I'm at, well, total 29 students. I don't think I've
Congratulations.
ever had much more than like 20. And the fact is these are private students.
Not the music school?
Yeah, it was just such a huge milestone. My income went up, all these dreams I've had as a teacher, they kinda came true faster than I expected, and I really attribute that to working with you, Jacqueline.
Well, thank you. It's been such a pleasure to work with you. Now, you've mentioned your website several times now. In 2024, in the modern day, having a solid website is so important. Can you talk a little bit about the differences between the website you started with before we started working and the website that you have now?
Yeah, actually, my old website was, like, laughable like, looking at it now, it's kind of hilarious. It was just me, it was a big picture of me on the front, and it says my name, piano studio, and then very uninteresting things about how I teach. Um, yeah, looking back, that was actually kind of hilarious. And now it goes into it goes in depth in every element of the teaching in an eye-catching, grabbing way. There's no space wasted. I s- with you, I started thinking about how to have a unique, well, just unique selling point.
USP, unique selling proposition.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. Yeah. Um, Yeah, the eye-catching element and the setting you apart from other teachers, and then like every page leading to signing up. That was something I never thought of. What feel like no-brainers now were completely like new when you brought them up, and clearly it's working because I have um a lot of clients find me from the website.
Gotcha. Yeah. So part of that website redesign, let's follow this thread for a little bit. Part of that website redesign involved changing the identity of your music studio, because your previous music studio's name was Ashley Shabazi Piano Studio, right? And what is your current studio name?
I went with Calico Piano Academy, which we workshopped for a while. Calico is just a cute name that I felt it's not my name, so it's not attached to something like well something too small scope. It is general. Also, it's after something that I think is really cute. It's named after my cat, who's a calico cat. And we went with academy to also keep not limit the scope to just I'm someone who teaches. I'm a one person piano studio because it's just my name. Growing out of that made me grow as a teacher essentially and have room for growth.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've grown so much from when we first had our conversations. Now, to give people some context, how long do you know how long we've been working with each other?
Was it September?
I believe that it was September, yeah, and it's we just started March now, so all of these changes have happened really in less than 6 months,
Yeah,
right?
wow. Yeah,
From
it's
the time
crazy.
we first started working together to now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, were there any aspects of the coaching program that you found particularly challenging? I know that when we were working together, it certainly I wasn't asking small things of you, right? There was a lot of challenging elements. So, which elements did you find challenging, and how did you address those challenges?
Yeah, I wouldn't even have gone with the word challenging because it was the kind of work the hard work was the most beneficial, short-term and long-term work. You gave me homework assignments like school, I swear, but every single one I looked forward to doing because it made changes, it impacted me like right away. So not challenging, but the work it was hard work. So with that, I'll say, every week I made lots of changes to the website, got better and better each time. I just wanna say how amazing it was, how organized it was. When I was in college, I can't say that any of my teachers, professors were that clear about assignments. And you had Meister Task. I don't know if you want to talk about Meister Task.
Yeah, let's talk about Meistertask.
Yeah, I as an app, I think is one of the best things for this kind of work because it is an app that that spells out every task, Meister task, that needs to be done to accomplish the goal. And they were organized by category, color coded, and everything. That really led me in the right direction really effectively and efficiently.
Awesome. Could you share one of the tasks that you were working on from one week to the next? Maybe something other than the website. What was
Yeah.
something that I assigned for you to do in between sessions?
A random example I just thought of was you suggested to research other people's rates and prices and compare. And that was like a research assignment. I went in and really thought about, okay, what should I set as my rate? What's the local competition and things like that.
Awesome. Great. Now, what are some specific results that you've noticed in your music studio since completing the program? Something other than, the awesome achievement that you've filled up your music studio, right? Were there other changes that you noticed as a result of our work together?
I think that clients, which is students, parents, they take me more seriously. Just like as an overarching theme of the change is I have more self-confidence in my definition as a teacher. And so as a result of that, I feel that respect more and my business just runs more smoothly and I can spend more time on teaching more than the stress and hassle of running a music studio.
Awesome. Now, can you share a memorable success story, like a moment or a milestone? Again, other than your awesome achievement that your studio is now full. So a memorable success story or moment that you felt like just, wow, that was a result of our work together.
Yeah, I think maybe as small as the first time somebody found me from not word of mouth when I found out that the marketing was working, or that's still in the vein of recruitment. Even just the first time that someone um, used my online system to send a payment or join a group studio class, it really made me feel like I'm doing things much more legitimately and right, and it's working.
Awesome. Now you just mentioned your studio classes. One of the things that we worked on together was creating a unique, a unique feature that is yours, right? This is something that you do that you believe is an important, and those studio classes are a result of that. Can you share a little bit about what makes Calico Piano so special?
Sure, yeah, I think not every studio does studio classes necessarily, and I want to incorporate collaboration. That has been the main theme of my unique point. Collaborative things such as duets and the social element of studio classes. At some point, maybe inter-studio collaboration with local music teachers, other instruments. Yeah.
Awesome. So it sounds like, a big part of it is that collaboration, like you said, and you're doing that right now with duets and trios and the group studio classes. And it also sounds like you have future plans on the horizon. Would you share a little bit about how our work has helped you, uh, you know, get with the tools to set your own future plans and kind of make your studio not something that stays the same, right? That is dynamic and changing.
Yeah, you've inspired me to not limit my scope. You've inspired me to reach really high and get to where nothing is impossible. I felt like, oh, I could never do that. I couldn't have a let alone just a group studio class. I'm just a a teacher who just started. I mean, it relatively, I can't do that, or I can't branch out. And now here I am. I've accomplished everything I didn't think I could. So why stop now, kind of thing. I have a lot of ideas. I remember you were saying, like, think of more ideas than you think you need to, even if you know, like, that's probably improbable or impossible, just write it down anyway. And yeah, you've inspired me to expand, yeah, my scope.
Yeah, I remember that in a lot of our sessions, I would ask you to do something, or I would tell you you can do that thing, and you would kind of look at me, and you'd be with the idea that I can't do that. That might not be impossible for some people, but it's just like it feels impossible now. Would you say that there are other moments other than the studio classes that you felt like something was impossible, but then you burst through that?
Yeah, there definitely. I, for instance, didn't think that marketing could ever work. I didn't think that having an ad on the internet would ever work for me, and yet it did. That was surprising. So again, back to the business side. Didn't think I
Yeah.
could do it, but you pushed and you inspired and it happened.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, how have you applied the lessons and the principles from the program to your daily teaching or business operations?
I think about our work a lot, and while I'll think about specific examples. I just know that my confidence overall has increased and improved. I don't shy away from, firstly, from telling parents you need to pay on time. That's,
Right.
I've been a little bit meek in the past about that, but our work has given me confidence. And I think that subconsciously translated itself to my actual teaching with the students, that I have a stronger voice. I've noticed, literally and metaphorically, a stronger sense of self. My students are just thriving now.
Yeah, we often notice that our students are confident when we properly equip them with the tools that they need to be successful, right? They're confident in looking at a new piece of music when they have the skills that they need to break it down and excel. And the same goes for us as business owners and teachers. When we have the tools we need, when we have the principles we need, it creates this confident mindset in us. And I feel like that has just been such a privilege to watch that blossom in you over the last 6 months. Now, one of the core parts of the defined music teacher concept is the triangle, right? Where we need to integrate business, technology, and teaching to form those crucial intersections, like digital pedagogy, where our teaching meets our technology, or business technology, where technology helps us with our business, like studio management software or the studio website, right? So, how do you feel the integration of these three core fundamental sides has changed your approach to teaching, getting a little bit away from the business side, right? We didn't focus a lot on teaching, but do you feel like that kind of bled over into your teaching?
Yeah, I think so. It does go back to what I was talking about, confidence. Um, Well, one thing I haven't talked about is that using technology actually helped the teaching through the app Flip. For the first time, I've found a way to ensure my students are practicing in the middles of the week and not right before cramming. And that was amazing. I hadn't even heard of the app Flip before that, and it made me realize, wow, there's tools out there, and we're in the 21st century now. We could use our tools and not keep piano lessons the same as they've been for centuries.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit more about the online learner community that you're fostering with the Flip app?
Yeah, so Flip, which is just a video app that allows students to upload their practice, anything that I might assign, like please upload this measures of this piece, or just show me what you're working on, or show me your piano at home. I think it gives more of a connection between the teacher and the student, allows them I mean, some kids just find it fun. And it allows them to, ask for help, and midweek practice help is so valuable. I wish I had that growing up or even in college when I have a question in the middle of the week, but I have to wait until, like, next Wednesday when I have my lesson or wherever. Yeah, the online, um, video upload is such a valuable thing, nowadays, especially when we're so used to watching videos. And of course, recording yourself as a pianist is crucial to improving and self criticizing and therefore improving.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Flip is such an interesting app because we're not only helping our students get help midweek, they're also they're also getting practice at becoming little content creators, right? I always wonder if one of the students that, because Flip is kind of laid out in a similar way to like TikTok,
Yeah.
right? So it's so interesting. I wonder if I found out this week that one of my students that all my students use the Flip app. She writes a script. She writes a script for the Flip app assignments sometimes. If I have her explain a music theory concept and demonstrate it, that she'll often write herself a script so that she can really excel at her videos. And it's awesome that you have that same kind of community going.
I love that.
Now, let's reflect a little bit because 6 months, 6 months ago, you were in a very different stage in your life. Would you think it's fair to say that your life has changed significantly as a result of our work?
Yeah, drastically. And when I was starting, I was really confused. I had just gotten out of school pretty much, and it's like the first time you're out in the real world, quote unquote. So I was still driving to students, and I was still most of my work was at community music schools. My private students just felt like so casual, and my life as a result was impacted, socially and mental health wise, and it wasn't any fun. So there was a big change there.
Awesome. Yeah. So you said 6 months ago your students were primarily at community music schools, and then the ones outside of community music schools were you were driving to their house. Is that
That's
correct?
right.
Can you share a little bit about where you are sitting right now?
Yeah, I finally have moved into a space large enough for my grand piano. That was a big first for the studio and for me. I love it here. It's in a safe, nice area, which allows the students and the parents to feel comfortable. And it's just a cozy space. I've got another keyboard here to allow students to practice with headphones. It was a definitely a big amenity.
Will you give us a quick tour of it? I can see
Sure,
that,
I
that
could do that.
wonderful picture in the background that you'll have
Yeah.
to tell everyone about.
As I said, my studio was inspired. The name was inspired by my cat, who's a calico. And right here, we've got a little portrait of her.
She's
Um,
adorable. What's her name?
Dot. And I could give you the 360. This is the sitting area. I try to keep it as like clean and cozy. And there, of course, is my baby grand piano. Um, and we're coming all the way back around, and here's the yeah, there you are, and practice piano. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing
Mhm.
that. Now let's see, where are we? What advice would you give to music teachers that, maybe they've looked at Define Music Teacher, but they're not sure whether they should make the plunge and get started?
Do it. Make the plunge and do it. You won't regret it. My advice is take everything uh Jacqueline assigns and do the work. You won't regret it. The work was a little like time consuming, but for the yeah, with the best results, and I loved every moment.
Yeah,
Cherish it, do it, and cherish it.
yeah, the work is time consuming, but owning a business is time consuming, and thinking of yourself less as only a teacher and also as a business person, that takes time and commitment, but it pays, it pays off, right? As
Yeah.
as you have definitely seen. Is there anything you wish you had known before you started the program, before you started working with me, that you now know?
I mean, it's just so big at the the amount of things I've learned from you. Yeah, there's a lot of small things that I wish I knew, but at the same time, it's just the confidence in me that had to build. I can't say it was like one magic tip that you
Right.
gave. Sure, some things in the contract and the policies, I was like, "Ooh, that's a good idea. Do this for makeup lessons and hold your ground for this and that." The contract was a big one for me.
Awesome. So we're wrapping up now. Do you have any final thoughts or message that you'd like to share with potential defined music teachers? Defined music potential defined music teachers.
Yeah, it's the fact that just me as an example, I did all of the work and it paid off. It's just so useful to be given that like step by step as someone who needs that structure. The work pays off. I know I just said that. That's my bottom line. And do it, you won't regret it.
What does being a defined music teacher mean for you?
For me, it means holding my ground and my confidence, defining, having a definition in business and teaching and in technology, and sticking to it confidently, knowing that your way is the right way. It is the way that people will respect. So to me, it means being confident.
Awesome. How can people connect with you if they want to learn more about your experience or they're curious to check out your website? Where should they go?
Maybe my studio Instagram, which was another new thing that we came up with
What
at
is your Instagram handle?
like the at Calico Piano.
Awesome. Yeah, and that was another big part of it, right? There's so much, right? That was part of your social media, getting yourself on the internet. And what is hashtag dot Friday?
Every Friday, I try to post a picture of Dot in addition to all the posts that are about music and my students' accomplishments. It's just for fun. I like to have that content up there to make people smile.
Awesome. All right. Well, it was wonderful catching up with you, and I wish you all of the best in the future. And you've got to keep me in the loop about all of the exciting things you get up to.
Thanks, and thank you for all of your help for this. I couldn't have done any of this without you.
Well, I am so happy to help. All right, that's our success story for Ashley Shabazi, who owns Calico Piano Academy.